course, I'm here to share with you about market updates. First, let's take a look at my account. Today my account has made a loss of 3.59%. Today SQIQ made a loss of 1.03%, losing to 18.1. And today's United Natural Gas also made a loss of 1.40% to 6.95. Right now, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 0.2%, and the Nasdaq Composite is down 0.29%, and S&P 500 is down 0.12%. Today, we can see the industry is generally closed mixed, and the entertainment industry closed down 0.17%. Today, let's talk about the market. Today is also the release date of the US CPI data, and being 3.7% a month year-on-year in August, which is higher than the expected 3.6%, and the core CPI was 4.3% in August, the lowest since September 2021, and the core CPI has fallen for 6 months consecutively. The quarterly CPI in August was 0.6%, which has been the highest since June 2022. This has shown that the Fed will still may have a lack of enforcement in its interest rate hike, and it may reconsider its decision about the upcoming monetary policy decisions in its meetings in September and November. And it also shows that the investors may need to shift their expectation for a more cautious expectation for the US economy due to its fear of unable to control inflation once again. However, at the same time, it's also important to note that last year's CPI has been decreasing in the second half of the year, which means that if whereas in the first half of the year it was at its highest level, once even reached to 9.1%, so that this year, comparatively, this year's CPI in the beginning half of the year should be relatively lower than the CPI of last year's corresponding months, and it also means that since the CPI last year has been decreasing in the second half of the year, this second half of the year in 2023 may be relatively higher, comparatively higher, and it's easier to show that the CPI has been increasing slightly. After the data release, the dollar index rose for more than 20 points in short terms, now at 104.98, and the spot oil fell nearly $9 in the short term, now at $1,906.49 per ounce. The Treasury yield rose with the 10-year yield up 7.2 basis points to 4.336%. The yield on the 2-year Treasury note rose 4 basis points to 4.314%. And talking back to the CPI, economists believe that the core indicators should reflect an underlying inflation and better than the overall CPI headline CPI. The gasoline cost accounted for more than half of the overall CPI increase in August, according to the Labor Bureau. And the probability of the Fed holding interest rates unchanged in September fell to 91% after the CPI data, and in short, the US food inflation came at an annual rate of like 4.3% in August, compared with 4.9% last month. Quarterly energy inflation was recorded at an annual rate of negative 3.6%, compared with negative 12.5% last month. the new car inflation had an annual rate of 2.9%, compared with 3.5% last. And the used car and truck inflation came in at an annual rate of negative 6.6%. That's all I have for today. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and see you next episode.